In a world where fog hides more than just the sea, I set out on a dangerous voyage to uncover every secret lurking beneath the waves. From cursed relics to monstrous fish, I faced madness, raging storms, and the abyss itself. This is my 150-day journey to complete Dredge the Iron Rig. Every achievement, every aberration, and all endings. As I sailed toward my next job opportunity, I encountered fog so thick I could barely see what was in front of me. 1 minute, I was struggling to find my way through, and the next, I was swallowed by total darkness. I woke up feeling disoriented and unsure of where I was. A man shouted orders to some workers, greeting me with a simple welcome to Greater Marrow. Apparently, my boat didn't make it. It got wrecked the night before, but I've had a few of the locals move your things to one of our old vessels. Well, I would appreciate that, thank you very much. To test the waters, I went out with my little boat to see how it's handled and try my hand at fishing. Alright, well, there's a fishing spot right here. Let's try and get this, shall we? Okay. Blue mackerel. Indeed, I will take that. While I was fishing, I found something odd. A message in a bottle. Morning of the second day of the honeymoon and our first day proper. Today we were sailing around the islands and inlets at the back of Greater Marrow. As nightfall approached, the water grew eerily quiet. Not wanting to stay out at night, I decided to head back to town with my haul of fish. There, I was greeted by the mayor again, who informed me that my old boat was too badly damaged and that I could keep the boat he gave me, but I had to pay off the debt and keep the population fed. That's when I was introduced to the fishmonger, where I sold my first batch of fish and scored my first research part. I was also introduced to the local shipwright. Hello! Hey, there we go. Introductions complete. The day began with a new mission, catching eels and flounders. How many fish can we catch today? I don't know where to place all these guys. So, we now need to catch some flounders. Where will I find those? Oh, those look interesting. We have here flounders. Gulf flounders. Perfect. Once I had everything I needed, I returned to town to deliver my catch of the day. Alright. So, I have the fish you've asked for. Okay, the Gulf flounder, one of those, and one of that. $52. Oh, I love me some moolah, baby. And with a little extra cash in my pocket, I decided to visit the mayor to settle the debt I owed. To my surprise, the mayor mentioned that thanks to my efforts, the town was starting to grow. He even gave the go-ahead for the shipwright to expand, opening a whole new area where I could buy upgrades for my little fishing boat. That night, I ventured out once more to fulfill the next order. Oh, there we go. Are these the squids? Yeah, look at that. There you go. Pull that in. Hey, buddy. We'll grab as much as we can here. Does this sit? I'm not entirely sure, but we'll grab it. Black grouper! That's what I needed. Oh, son. Okay. I'm going back to... Ooh. Oh, hull damage. Arrow squid lost. Only one. Okay. Rip me! After completing the order, I returned to the fishmonger, who not only took the fish, but also handed me a basic crab pot. On my way out, I stopped by the shipwright for repairs. Yes, please, repair. Thank you. Returning to my boat, an old, hostile woman blocked my path. She didn't seem too fond of my presence at Greater Marrow. The mayor had a task for me. I had to deliver a small package to the dock worker at Little Marrow. Before setting off, I dropped my crab pot into the water, hoping to test my luck with catching some crabs. Now, where do I need to go for... Is it the one across? Okay. As I sailed toward my next destination, I decided to try out the spyglass. What is that? Cod. Oh, this is it. Dredge. Blue mackerel. Grey eel. Oceanic. I don't know what that is. While scoping out the area, I spotted another message in a bottle drifting in the waves. Upon arriving at Little Marrow, I handed the package over to the dock worker. He didn't seem particularly interested in discussing its contents, but gave me some cash and an old book as payment. Sustainable fishing added to the cabin. I also met the trader, who dealt in rare trinkets, but with nothing to sell, I left empty-handed. With daylight still on my side, I took the opportunity to fill up my boat with fish and see what new species I could reel in. Oh! This one is bad. There we go. Stingray! I didn't forget about the bottle I had spotted earlier. Retrieving it, I found it was dated August 21st, and it detailed a strange accident near Greater Marrow, where a rock seemingly appeared out of nowhere. As night fell, I made my way back home and checked my crab pot. 2 days remaining. Nothing in it. What a shame. To improve my chances of catching crabs, I picked up another crab pot from the fishmonger before heading out and set it near my first pot. There you go. Have a nice time. That also gave me a chance to check on my previous pot. Ooh, common crab. Alright, we'll take that. While the pots did their thing, I spent some time fishing, pulling up a mix of fish. From the grey eel, there you go, that's one down, to some blue mackerel. We have, what is this? I forgot the name of this fish. Blue mackerel. Yes, sirree. And a few cod. Alright, that's good. Time to head back to our hometown. Back at port, I returned to the fishmonger, handing over the common crab for his latest order. In return, he tossed me a new book. Rods, reels, and rigs added to cabin. With a bit of daylight left, I deployed another crab pot in deeper waters, hoping to catch a fiddler crab to complete the order. Before heading off to bed, I sold the remaining fish and purchased a new rod for my boat. Yeah. Alright. Sweet. In the early hours of day 5, I set off to check my crab pots once again. This time, however, I found something strange inside. We're still waiting for one more. Ooh, what is this? Cerebral crab. Without a second thought, I rushed over to the fishmonger. He immediately noticed something odd. The catch had a bulging stomach. As he cut it open, a crimson handkerchief slipped out. As I headed back toward my boat, I caught sight of a mysterious man watching me from my cabin window. What's this all about? I know what you took to the fishmonger, and I'll be clear. No, he extracted an artifact from it. I need to inspect it, but not here. Meet me on Blackstone Isle. Curious, I set sail for Blackstone Isle, navigating through the bay until I reached the isolated island. A man, introducing himself as the collector, greeted me at the dock. Handing over the strange handkerchief, I listened as the collector explained his offer. Yeah, my proposition is, I will outfit your vessel with equipment that will let you dredge the wrecks in dark depths. Ooh, the relics we're looking for are a ring, a necklace, a watch, and a music box. And key. Before leaving, I took a moment to explore his workshop and found some intriguing artifacts, including a peculiar talisman and an unusual engine. Of course, I couldn't resist testing my luck with fishing before heading back to Greater Marrow. It turned out to be a good call as I reeled in yet another bizarre looking fish. And there we go. Ooh, grotesque mackerel. Once back at port, I asked around about shipwrecks and was told that a strong current behind Greater Marrow often carried wreckage from the sea. I also met a builder hoping to start fresh on an island called Steel Point. She needed a few resources to make the move and asked if I could take it to Steel Point. The day kicked off with the mayor mentioning a photographer heading south and suggesting I pay her a visit. I didn't give it much thought and instead checked in with the shipwright about my boat, and she handed me a book to read. Soon after, I set sail to check on my crab pots. Unfortunately, luck wasn't on my side. None of the 3 had a single fiddler crab. Oh man, I need fiddler crabs. I don't know how I'm gonna get that. Shifting focus, I turned to gathering materials. I dredged up some lumber. Okay, start dredging. Okay, okay, I see how it works. Hey, buddy. Lumber and scrap metal from a few nearby spots. Scraps, metal, scraps. With my goal of collecting more resources in mind, I set sail around the island. However, I couldn't resist investigating a strange colored aura at the entrance of the port. What is here? Aberration. Oh. There we go, mate. Continuing my search, I came across a peculiar dredging spot where I pulled up an old ring. I almost got caught there. What is this? Worn gold ring. As I ventured further, I stumbled upon a cloth dredging spot. Just what I needed for a couple of much needed upgrades. Completely absorbed in my tasks for the day, I lost track of time. Not wanting to sail at night, I made a quick dash to the Collector's Island, set up camp, and decided to stay the night. The next morning, I shot off to Little Marrow to meet with the trader, hoping the ring would fetch a good price. Let's see if we can trade the ring. Sell. Yeah, do you want this? Before I could leave, I spoke with a man weighed down by grief. He asked if I could recover any of his son's belongings, specifically an engraved belt buckle. Okay, I will do that for you, sir. With that settled, I sailed towards Steel Point to deliver the materials for the builder. Upon arrival, I offloaded the necessary supplies, bringing her one step closer to her fresh start. There we go, one there. There you go. Another for you, mate. And we're sorted. You delivered all the necessary materials. As I continued exploring, I stumbled upon more wreckages. Dredging through the debris, I was able to unearth a golden goblet. Feeling adventurous, I pushed my luck and traveled to a nearby island. That's when I spotted an SOS sign. SOS? Castaway? I'm saved. Saved? What happened? I was washed up here. Okay. He asked for a ride to Little Marrow, and of course, I obliged. Come on, let's go. However, caught up in my little escapade, I failed to notice how late it had gotten. With the waters growing more treacherous by the minute, I decided to play it safe and spend the night at Steel Point. With the castaway still aboard, I set off toward my next destination. Along the way, I made a quick stop to check my crab pots, hoping to finally catch the elusive fiddler crab. Why not? Sonny, why not? I don't know if these are worn out. Each repair. Okay, pick up. Sure you will need repair as well. Okay. Now we know why we're not getting stuff. Left with no choice, I returned to Greater Marrow to get them fixed. While there, I checked in with the builder about the progress. Yeah, I've done it. Well, no sense in wasting time. Let's get moving. Yeah. Oh. What? But with no room on my boat, I had to put that plan on hold for a while. With my crab pots repaired, I set my course for Little Marrow, setting them along the way in the hopes of finally catching that fiddler crab. Upon reaching Little Marrow, my castaway passenger was overjoyed to be back in civilization. As thanks, he handed me his signet ring. Thank you. Farewell, my friend. While in town, I stopped by the painter, who offered to decorate my boat with flags and bunting. He also suggested a fresh coat of paint, and after browsing the options, I stuck with the original rusty red. Oh, nasty, I don't like that. Rusty red does the job. Before calling it a day, I made a risky decision to check out a nearby wreck site. There, I dredged up the belt buckle. Start dredging, yeah. Wait, mate. Woo-wee. That was crazy. What we got? Belt buckle. By then, exhaustion was creeping in, and to make matters worse, I was starting to see things. I'm coming through. I'm going. I'm scared. Oh, darn it. What is that? Not wanting to test my luck any further, I decided to find a safe place to rest before the hallucinations got any worse. The first order of business was to deliver the engraved belt buckle to the grieving father. Oh, thank you, bless you. You've returned him to me. Not a problem. Yeah, there we go. Next, I made a stop at the local trader, offloading the little treasures picked up along the way. With my cargo hold cleared, I set sail for Greater Marrow to pick up the builder. Along the way, I checked in on my crab pots again. Ah, man. I need the fiddler crab, yo. Something must be wrong here if I can't pick up the fiddler crab. Once back at Greater Marrow, I picked up the builder. Yeah, I'm ready for you. Let's go. Good riddance, Greater Marrow. I made a quick stop at the research bay to research a few new parts. With that wrapped up, I set my course for Steel Point. When I reached Steel Point, I delivered the builder to her new home. Made it! Yeah, this will do. Thank you, fella. She was thankful for the help and rewarded me with a handful of research parts. On day 11, I was back at it again, checking my crab pots. This time, however, I finally caught the fiddler crab I needed. With that taken care of, I headed straight to the fishmonger to complete the order. Before I could leave, he had one final request. He wanted to know what happens when people eat the mutated fish. There we go. You in luck, buddy. You in luck. He crushes it. Yeah, thank you. Sweet. Oh, nice. 2 storage. I will keep these. After that, I set course for a wreck site marked on the map. Alright. Let's get it. Start the dredging. Wait, buddy. I completely forgot about the button. I'm on it now. Woo-wee. What is this? Oh, the key. I think this is what the collector needed. On my way back, I spotted something unusual and decided to take a closer look. Unfortunately, nothing really happened, but I did stumble upon another shipwreck containing some useful materials. Nearby, I also found a mysterious rock slab. Anything else here? Ooh. Is this the shiny thing I've been seeing all along? Let's see what this is. A slab of rock juts out from the water bearing crude symbols. Curved fish at its base. Curved fish. You mean I got to get some cod here? Before heading back to Blackstone to see the collector, I made a quick stop at the trader to offload some of my finds. In return, he handed me a book titled The Relaxed Mind, along with some extra cash. It was time to visit the collector at Blackstone and hand over the key. You have something, don't you? Show me! Yes, the key has been delivered. He also mentions that the relics were scattered farther than expected, but to aid my quests, he granted me a strange ability, haste. As we chatted a bit more, he spoke about my next destination, Gale Cliffs. Before tackling my next journey, I went out to test my new ability. Keeping my speed boosted above a certain point for 10 seconds unlocked the next achievement. Hey, there we go. Keep your haste burn meter above 50% for 10 seconds. Awesome. Afterward, I spent some time filling up my cargo hold. While at it, I reeled in another bizarre fish, a 3-headed cod. Back at port with the extra earnings, I upgraded my fishing gear. 3 hours, not a problem, I don't have much. Feeling prepared, install equipment into every slot on your ship. Oh, brilliant. Another achievement completed. Bright and early the next morning, I set out to gather some cod, knowing I need them for the mysterious stone slab. Alright, catch a couple of these and we can go check out that mystical ruin or stone, whatever it is. I searched several fishing spots, hoping to find enough to complete the puzzle. Once I had the cod I needed, I returned to the rock slab and placed them in the carved slots. Yeah, curved fish. Okay, so we just need to put this here. It's like a puzzle, I guess? I don't know. We'll go with it for our first try, see what happens. No, that's not gonna work. Hey, that will work. Hey, buddy. A wave washes over the fish, sweeping them away. And in return, I received a strange fishing spindle. With the mystery solved, I headed back to base with a fresh haul of fish, pocketing a solid $140 in profit. The next few days were all about upgrading my fishing boat, preparing it for the long journey to Gale Cliffs. To fund these upgrades, I spent some time fishing and maximizing my profits. Along the way, I caught some new species, including the bronze whaler. It's a shark, looks like it. No, bronze whaler. Holy smokes, this thing is huge. The blacktip reef shark and the sailfish. With the extra cash I raked in, I was able to upgrade my gear, installing a hydraulic rod for better fishing efficiency and adding 2 outboard engines for extra speed. Oh, and did I mention that I unlocked another achievement for perfectly filling my cargo hold to full capacity? On day 17, I had planned to leave Greater Marrow and head toward Gale Cliffs, but a strange fishing spot caught my attention, pulling me off course. Hey, buddy, how did you know we want that? Curiosity got the better of me, and before I knew it, I was completely sidetracked, filling up my cargo hold once again. Ooh. I'll take that. On the brighter side, I managed to reel in 2 more aberrant creatures, adding to my growing collection of aberrant finds. Oh, there we go. That's what we want. Finally, it was time to set sail for Gale Cliffs. I made good progress and reached the next town before midday. Alright, this is it. This is Gale Cliffs. Just before arriving, I spotted a nearby fishing spot and decided to check it out. I reeled in a few oceanic perch. Alright, we'll catch some of this. Before coming across another message in a bottle. That evening, I met one of the residents of Ingfell, who asked me to bring her some aged conger eels. Apparently, they only emerge from their burrows at night. I also spoke with a retired whaler, who had some lingering family issues to sort out. After that, I went ahead to check out the local hub for all things fishing. This side, I think this is the trader. Let's go and check out what she has in store for us. We can sell our fish that we just caught. Traveling merchant, sorry. Ahoy! I'm a traveler. Yes, I do. Likewise, I have a small cargo of equipment between places. Yeah. I am ready to sell. Ah, that's not much. She also asked for my help to track down some rare fish. I had a few things to check out, so I set off toward my next destination. On the way, I spotted a new fishing spot and decided to see what I could reel in. What we have here? Oh, this is a new one. Okay, I will take that. I'm not supposed to be doing this, but I will take it. What is this? A blackmouth salmon. Great. Soon after, I made my way to the next town, where an old man emerged from one of the crumbling buildings. Hermit! Oh, hi there. This place doesn't seem safe. Why do you live here? He told me about his brother and the rift between them, all tied to a family heirloom he had stolen long ago. The problem, the heirloom had gone down with a shipwreck. He asked if I could help retrieve it. With that new task in mind, I pressed on, searching for more fishing spots to make the most of the day. Oh, this is another fishing spot for what? I do say so myself. Wreckfish. Oh, that must be the cod we are looking for. Let's see. Trophy, blackmouth salmon. Nah. I think I do have the... No, I don't have the aberrant of this. Oh, nice, mate. That's one down. As night fell, I returned to the dusty pontoon, sold off my haul, and picked up a few crab pots to set around the trade ports. On day 20, I set out to find the shipwreck and recover the family heirloom. Navigating through the cliffs, I came across something that sent chills down my spine. What's happening here? Are you making that noise? Whee! What the freak was that? Ho ho ho! What was that? After some time, I finally reached the location of the shipwreck and managed to dredge up the heirloom. We got the crests, the family crests. On my way back, I stumbled upon a makeshift campsite. As I looked closer in the ashes, I spotted something interesting, a research pot. Early the next morning, I set my course back to town. However, as I sailed, something glowing in the distance caught my attention. What is this? What? What could it be? A pirate flag? Afterward, I made my way to the dusty pontoon to sell my catch of the day and repair my vessel. Once the boat was in top condition, I headed over to Hermit's place to see what was cooking. Upon arrival, he asked me to deliver a message to his brother, apologizing and requesting that he return home. After agreeing to help, I set off once again, this time heading toward Ingfell. There, I met with a retired whaler and handed over the family crest. Yes, this is your crest. Your brother's sorry. Will you let him come home? Please do.
The old man needed some time to process, but he also requested if I could clear some debris to create a shortcut. Well, all I can say is that I tried my best.
Ah! Where are you? No, 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 no. Whee! Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, I lost the research part. It's chasing me. Are you still coming after me? Holy smokes. How am I to get past that? I think I'll have to go around.
Hoping for better luck, I set out once again. This time, I managed to reach the location and lit the fuse as quickly as I could.
Light the fuse. Hey, debris crumbles away. Thank you.
Nearby, I spotted a waterfall and decided to investigate. Passing through the rushing water, I found myself inside a hidden cave. A massive fish swam in the shadows, but without the right equipment, I couldn't reel it in. Instead, my eyes landed on a rotten chest tucked away at the back of the cave. Inside, I uncovered a bag of treasure and some refined metal. On my way back, I wanted to catch a conger eel, so I spent some time dredging up a few items to pass the time.
There's something here that I might be interested in. No, this is not eels. Ah, come on. Okay, I have to duck. We'll try another day or another night.
With everything ready, I paid a visit to the retired whaler, letting him know the path was clear and it was time to reunite the brothers at last. From there, I set off to fetch Hermit from the other side of town. Returning to Ingfell with him, the long-lost brothers were finally reunited.
Whoa, here we are. Yeah. There we go. You are home! Of course you were. Pursuit resolved.
Before heading out, I purchased another explosive charge and made my way back to Hermit's old town. I spotted a shipwreck behind a pile of debris. Luckily, those explosives came in handy for clearing the path.
And we blow it up.
As I dredged through the wreckage, I pulled out a mysterious music box, something that would surely interest the collector. For the next few days, I explored the island, searching for new species to add to my encyclopedia.
What is this? Stonefish. Yeah, couple days worth of fishing. Won't hurt anybody.
And of course, to make some profit.
Okay, so fish market. And we will sell. Oh, nice. 63.
Along the way, I dredged up materials to aid in upgrading my fishing boat.
One more? Yeah, why not? What is the time? Oh, it's getting late. It's getting late. Dredging takes forever. Maybe this is what I need to find the fish.
Eventually, I came across what looks like the elusive conger eel.
There's the eel! Oh! Oh! Is that it? Yes! That's what we needed. Okay. Okay. Let me just grab this. What is it? Conger eel. Oh.
But since it needed time to age, I had to hold on to it for a while. To pass the time, I did some more fishing and continued exploring Gale Cliffs.
And we got some tiger mackerel here.
While there, I stumbled upon a message in a bottle and dredged up a few more materials for storage. By the end of day 25, I returned to Ingfell and delivered the aged conger eel to the residents.
I can offer you a small sum, thanks. $150. I love that.
Continuing my efforts to upgrade my boat, I checked on my crab pots to see what they had caught, using the haul to make a quick sail at Dusty Pontoon. With some extra cash in hand and a good stockpile of resources from the past few days, I upgraded my boat's lighting capacity and added additional engine slots on the boat. On day 27, I set out to explore the tiny islands across Gale Cliffs. Upon reaching the first island, I stumbled upon a photographer struggling with a missing lens. She asked me to retrieve the lenses that had been lost overboard. Continuing my journey, I came across an abandoned campsite. Searching through the remains, I found a sapphire ring and some fresh footprints. Moving on to another island, I encountered a strange hooded figure who requested a specific type of fish. Luckily, there was a fishing spot nearby that had exactly what he needed. I reeled it in as fast as I could.
Hey, there you go. Is this what you're looking for? my fellow friend.
And returns to the figure to hand over the fish, only for him to immediately ask for another fish. The thing is, catching said fish required a specific rod I didn't have. With night closing in, I decided not to push my luck. Instead, I searched for a nearby port and for the fun of it, attempted to unlock the next achievement.
Hey, there we go. Hey, from the fog, hear a frog horn echo.
Early the next morning, I set out to help the photographer recover her lost gear. After searching the marked location, I found what I was looking for.
For valuables? Hey, that's what we need. Thank you.
On my way back, I spotted a dredging site. Curious, I decided to check it out.
Thank you. What is this? The goblets.
Returning to the photographer's island, I handed over her lost items. As a token of appreciation, she rewarded me with a new ability. With the rest of the day ahead, I focused on fishing, stocking up on supplies, and checking my crab pots. Before calling it a day, I returned to port, sold off my haul, and unlocked another achievement.
Sell all, of course, mate. Profit! Wow! We sold $2,500 worth of fish.
Kicking off the day, I collected a few crabs from my crab pots.
So I just need one of these. And then 2 of these.
I then set out to find the crab altar, hidden somewhere among the cliffs.
Oh, where can the crab altar be? I need to do a whole lot of dredging here. I got some nice spots here. Where am I going?
After a bit of searching, I finally located it and placed the required crabs.
So this is easy enough. There we go. 2 of that. And 2 of that.
Completing the puzzle rewarded me with the mouth of the deep. Since there was still a bit of daylight left, I took the opportunity to dredge up more resources and continued my search for lumber the next day.
Let's grab as much as we can here. How much moolah we have? $183. Alright, nice. Oh crap. I didn't see that. Whoops. What was I doing? But
Returning to Dusty Pontoon, I went ahead and upgraded my fishing boat, adding a couple of extra spaces for my nets. With a new day ahead, I decided it was time to head back to Blackstone Isle. But before making my way there, I set out to explore a nearby island to see what it had to offer.
oh, there's something there. What is it? Oh, it's a dredging spot. Let's go and grab that. What do we have here? Yee, buddy. Give us some of the good stuff here. What is this? Huh? It's a flag. Okay.
On my way, I stumbled upon something unexpected, a shipwreck nearly identical to mine, but with a massive breach on one side. Investigating further, I discovered a fisherman's note tucked away inside, along with some useful cargo, including a weak but functional engine.
Oh, hello there. Well, we can sell... Oh, 2 storage. Yeah, we could sell that.
Pressing on, I took some time to fish, reeling in a few blue mackerels before realizing I had drifted off. With the sun beginning to set, I made the call to head straight for Blackstone Isle to avoid getting caught in the dark. Upon arrival, I handed over the music box to the collector, completing another pursuit.
There you go. Hey, another pursuit. The secret. Surrender the music box. You found this at the cliffs, didn't you? Yeah, okay. Ah, excellent.
In return, he granted me a new ability, Manifest. My next task was to head over to Stellar Basin to search for more relics. On day 32, I set off toward an island just behind Blackstone Isle. There, I discovered an old shipwreck, and after taking a closer look, managed to salvage some useful supplies. I also unlocked another achievement while clearing out some space.
I need space. Hey, discard. Unwanted. We've got the achievements. Great stuff.
As I explored further, I encountered another strange figure, similar to the one I had seen before. He was starving and demanded a blue mackerel.
Blue mackerel. You want my prized possession, though? You cannot get that. With expertise, more... what is this? tiger mackerel that I do not have. I know where to get that, but time is of the essence and I do not have that luxury. So I will come back when I have it.
After a quick sweep of the area, I used Manifest to teleport back, saving myself a long trip.
In a teleport. Mate. That's the best thing money can buy.
Back at Greater Marrow, I was once again stopped by the freaky lighthouse keeper. She rambled on about my travels across the ocean, but I didn't pay much attention and went about my business. The next order of business was to take care of my worn-out crab pots at Greater Marrow. I hauled them back to port for repairs.
Yeah, we need to pick this up too, man. There we go.
And set them up closer to shore to make things a bit easier.
There we go. I think that's way better.
With that sorted out, I focused on maximizing profits by reeling in a few fish to take back to port.
Cod's pretty decent, maybe. Don't know. Maybe a sturgeon or something like that? No, not a sturgeon. A sturgeon's far away. What we have here? What is this? Can't remember what this is. A bronze whaler.
Returning to Greater Marrow, I sold off my catch and stopped by the shipwright to purchase a trawl net, only to realize I had no space to install it. So, I knew what I had to do, gather as many resources as possible by dredging up everything from metal scraps to lumber.
Come on, come on. Hey, there we go.
Then, I headed off to Little Marrow to sell off the trinkets I had collected over time.
Tons of things to trade. Alright, sell this. Come on. $7. Okay, we can't sell that. $40. Ooh, 150. Heck yeah.
Afterward, I returned to the dry docks, where I was ready to upgrade my boat, only to realize I was missing one crucial resource.
Yeah, you see, I need one more piece of cloth. And how many do I have? Oh, son. One more of this.
Well, I did intend to look for cloth. However, I noticed the weird green eye twitching. Not wanting to take any chances, I stopped at Blackstone Isle for a little rest. The thing is, I woke up late and didn't have much time to do anything. So, I took the opportunity to fill up my cargo hold and made my way back home. With the goal of collecting cloth, I set out in search of it, racking my brain to remember where I had seen it before. Checking the island where the blue hooded figure had been located didn't pan out, so I decided the next best option was to sail to Gale Cliffs. While I was at it, I decided to catch some fish to fill up my boat.
Can I catch this? I can, but I don't know if I'll have space for it.
Upon reaching Gale Cliffs, I went ahead and cleared out my crab pots. To my surprise, I found another aberrant creature and raked in a boatload of cash as well.
Ooh! Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Once again, my goal was to track down some cloth at Gale Cliffs. While searching, I had a dangerously close encounter with a beast lurking in the deep.
Oh, is it coming? Oh! What?
Fortunately, I managed to escape unscathed and took the opportunity to dredge up a few materials nearby. Even better, I stumbled upon a cloth dredging spot.
Where would I find cloth? Is this it? Yeah, this looks like it. Nice. Okay, I'll try and get all of this. And then we can repair our boat.
With my cargo packed, I returned to port and upgraded my hull to Tier 2, unlocking another achievement in the process.
Woo! And there we go, hull improved. Upgrade to 2nd tier.
Since there was still plenty of material scattered around the cliffs, I stuck around to gather as much as possible.
Okay, so let's grab some of these here. Yeah, I'm just gonna dredge as much as I can and head off. Okay, so we're dredging some of these metal scraps here. One more should do.
Back at Dusty Pontoon, I pushed my upgrades even further, adding 3 more rod spaces to the boat. Now with extra room to work with, I reorganized my gear, installing the improved trawl net, the sinew spindle, and a new engine, setting myself up for even greater hauls ahead. Of course, I had to test out the trawl net, so I gave that a little run while catching some tiger mackerel along the way. I then set off to the location of the blue hooded figure to deliver the fish I had caught. And would you believe it? This dude had the nerve to request another one. Appalled by this guy's behavior, I made the journey back to the Greater Marrow, reeling in an aberrant shark along the way.
Oi! That's what I'm talking about.
Upon reaching port, I checked on my crab pots once again and unlocked the achievement for catching 100 crabs.
Hey, yo! Trapped by these catch 100 crabs. We've got that trophy. Nice.
After selling off my haul, I repaired my crab pots and installed a tungsten floodlight on my boat. On day 40, I set off toward my next destination, Stellar Basin. As I neared the basin, I stumbled upon another message in a bottle.
14th September added.
Taking a closer look toward the center of the basin, I spotted something sinister lurking in the deep.
What's going on here? Dredging spots? Paddle. What is that there? Oh, this books, whatever it is. I do not want to mess with that.
Venturing further, I came across an abandoned research outpost. Inside, I found old equipment, scattered notes, and research papers hinting at some kind of imminent danger. While exploring the basin, I discovered something unexpected, a stray dog. Carefully approaching it, I offered it some fish, and to my surprise, it warmed up to me. With a little patience, I managed to get it on board.
Hey, buddy! Are you joining me? That's great.
With the dog safely aboard, my plan was to reach a port, at least until I spotted an interesting dredging spot.
I know it's super late. It ain't supposed to be out this late. But I will take this. What is this? Anchor flag.
Unfortunately, that decision made things worse. I could barely see a thing, and not wanting to risk it, I used the manifest ability to teleport back to the collector.
Oh no, I'm going out of here. Traverse a long distance using the manifest. Okay, that's the next achievement.
So, I set off once again, heading back to the Stellar Basin. As I scouted the area, I stumbled upon another message in a bottle.
We're catching fish for days here. 6th to 7th March 1920 something.
Soon enough, I came across a researcher stationed at an old fortress. She requested my help in collecting samples from the local marine life. Oh, and I should mention, the dog I found needed a home, and the researcher was more than happy to take it in. With that in mind, I set off to track down the specimens. On my way, I found a wooden chest containing some trinkets and a piece of paper, which I tucked away for later. Continuing my search, I was pleased to find that my trawl net had caught the firefly squid.
You have to go back here. Ooh, firefly squid.
Pressing on, I spotted the glowing octopus.
Awesome! There we go. Well, we didn't need to do that, did we? Alrighty. So, I just need the jellos.
And soon enough, had the jellyfish caught in my net as well.
There we go. There we go. We got what we needed.
Returning to the researcher, I handed over the specimens. She was grateful, but her work wasn't done yet.
Yeah, I got it all. But yes, I also need some from deep... What?
She needed me to retrieve prototype parts to help us safely contain the creature at the center of the basin for further study. Well then, I shot back off to the lab to track down the prototype parts. While inspecting the equipment left on the table, I spotted exactly what I was looking for. On my way back to the researcher, I got sidetracked by an aura of a fishing spot. I knew what this meant, and sure enough, I reeled in an aberrant octopus. Once back at the fortress, I handed over the prototype parts. The researcher wasted no time assembling the device, and in return gave me a tool that would allow me to fish in deeper waters. Alongside the sampling device, she provided another piece of equipment, the repulsion machine.
Before I left, she handed me another list of deep-sea specimens to collect. On day 43, I started by researching a few rods for the extra research parts I had. Afterward, I returned to the research outpost to place the repulsion machine in the generator. Hey, buddy. Yes, of course, activated. Repulsion machine hums and whirs to life. A few seconds later, bright light shoots from the top. Alarm begins to. With the generator active, I focused on catching new species of fish in the area, like the anglerfish and the coral grouper. Unfortunately, for some of the rarest species, I needed an upgrade to my fishing gear. Luckily, the Starlight pontoon was not too far out. After selling the fish I had caught for the day, I purchased the fathomless winch. Hey, there we go, mate. Early the next morning, I returned to the research outpost to activate the device. With that taken care of, I got back to work, catching as many fish as I could. I hauled a gulper eel. Don't know if I'll have space for it. Gulper eel. I think we need those too. A loose jaw. This looks like a loose jaw. Is it? It is! It is! Wee, buddy! An amphipod, and finally a snailfish, which so happens to be an aberrant version. Not forgetting about the relic that I managed to find as well. Back at the researcher, I transferred all of the samples I had. There we go, one there and one there. Thank you very much. Done. Only to discover that the aberrant snailfish didn't quite meet the requirements. So, I was back out again, casting away as I worked to reel in new species. Returning to the outpost, I quickly fired up the device. Yes, please activate it. For the last time. And without wasting any time, raced to the snailfish's location. Sweet! Hey, that's it. Back at the researcher, I handed over the sample and received a warm thank you, along with a new book titled A Plan for the Future. There were still a few things left to check out at the Stellar Basin. Clearing away some loose debris gave me access to a dredging site. Thank you very much. And with a bit of effort, I pulled up a valuable find. Hey, buddy. Refined metal. As I explored further, I spotted what seems like another puzzle. Oh, no! No, it's not it. Not it. Definitely not it. That was a close one. Holy smokes. With no luck finding anything else worthwhile, I set my course back to the collector. Boom, son. There we go. Just like that, we are here. Once there, I handed over the ring, earning his approval. In return, he offered me another ability, Banish. He then pointed me toward my next destination, Twisted Strands. On my way back to Greater Marrow, I decided to test Banish on a lurking threat. Can I test out my Banish? Yeah? Are you coming? Hey, get out of here, mate. I'ma send you home. Back to where you come from. After resetting my crab pots, I made the long journey toward Gale Cliffs. I sailed straight to the waterfall, where I encountered one of the mysterious fish I still needed to catch. Got you now, buddy. What? Come on, let's go. The oarfish, whatever you call it. On my way back to Dusty Pontoon, I spotted a strange aura hovering over a fishing spot. Yeah, baby, that's what we want. Back at the traveling merchant, I spoke to her about the rare fish I had caught. In return, she rewarded me with a generous supply of research parts. Oh, thank you. I found the gulper eel as well. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I will take that as well. To wrap things up, I spent some of those parts researching a new type of engine. Okie dokie, I set sail towards Stellar Basin once again. While on my way, I came across a strange dredging spot and decided to take a closer look. Hauling up the object, I found a crate of some kind, though I had no clue what it was for. Setting that mystery aside, I continued my search and finally spotted the rock slab just behind the basin. It required 4 powerful fish to complete. The next day, I explored a few smaller islands nearby and managed to find another piece of paper, part of what seemed to be a map. I also checked off another aberrant creature in the encyclopedia. Ooh, cursed fang tooth. By day 50, I sailed over to the hooded figure in gold to deliver the fish he requested. Yeah, there's your fang tooth. There you go. Cracked lips, yeah. Sense an opening.
Only to be told that I needed to catch yet another fish for him. Pushing forward, I headed to a distant island across from the hooded figure and found several scattered boxes. Among them, I recovered the last piece of the treasure map.
Look inside, of course. Oof, there we go. There we go. That is it. Alrighty, so we put down a couple of crab pots here. We'll wait for us to catch a blue crab. But for now, we need to head somewhere here.
After sailing around for a bit, I finally spotted the location marked on the treasure map.
Oh, buddy! Look at that. Come on. Open it! Open! A silver plate. Some cool stuff here, but are we going to be able to carry them all?
Returning to the Starlight pontoon, I managed to reel in another aberrant fish to add to my growing collection.
What do we find here? This is barracuda, yeah? I don't need this. I need the aberration. There we go.
I also checked on my crab pots, just in case, and wouldn't you know it, they had trapped both the blue crab I needed and a new crown of thorns specimen. On my way to my next destination, I stopped in an unknown fishing spot and bagged yet another fish to add to my encyclopedia. I then set sail to the golden hooded figure to deliver the blue crab.
Yeah. There's your blue crab here, buddy. What you got for me? Pursuit completed. Advanced fishing added to cabin.
With that taken care of, I made my way back to Greater Marrow to hunt down the blacktip reef shark. Before wrapping up, I decided to investigate those marked stones. Turned out they were nothing too special, just a strange vision. Early the next day, I began by catching the bronze whaler needed for the next puzzle. After patching up the boat, I made the journey back to the rock slab just behind the Stellar Basin and dropped off the fish I had.
Yeah. I don't know if this is gonna work. Just leave that there. And I think, I don't know. It looks good. It looks good. I need one more shark and I know exactly what I need to fit there. And I know exactly where I was able to catch one. But we have to catch it at night.
As darkness fell, I headed toward the old fortress. After a few minutes scanning the area, I struck gold when an aura over a fishing spot caught my attention.
Yo, gazing shark. Although I don't know if this is what we need for that.
With the hammerhead shark in hand, I set course for the rock puzzle the following day.
Alright, so let's see. This works? Hey, it does! What is this? A crane! Aberration bonus. Another 2.5%.
Wrapping up the task, I shifted focus to gathering resources to make a few upgrades to the boat. I continued the effort into day 54, making the most of every opportunity to stock up on materials. Well then, on day 55, I set sail toward the Twisted Strand. But of course, I made a few detours along the way. That included checking out a few dredging spots and having a super close encounter with a colossal monster crab.
Woo! Darn you! I was like, how can I push the darn plane off its place there? You got me on that one.
Eventually, I spotted lights in the distance and made my way to a small dock, which turned out to be the rickety pontoon. Once there, I jumped straight into upgrading the boat, adding extra cargo space and more room for engines. I also decided to equip a new anti-tangle line, perfect for tackling mangrove fishing, and wrapped up the day by setting up a few crab pots around the port.
Oh, there we go. That's a good spot here. Plenty.
Alrighty, it was time to explore the Twisted Strand. As I navigated through the eerie mangroves, I came across several new fish, including the gar.
We have something for that. What do we find here? Gar.
The sergeant fish, and the tarpon.
Another one. Hey, there we go.
I even managed to reel in a few aberrant variants, one of them being the blistered tarpon.
Hey, there we go, the aberration version.
Deeper in the swamp, I spotted a massive structure in the middle of the mangroves. It looks like a sort of trap or something. Anyways, I pushed forward as I came across a large man sitting by a campfire. He warned me about dangerous beasts in the area called mine suckers and asked for help wiping them out. To do that, I'd need to recover the scattered parts of his squad's mortar. On top of that, he also asked me to track down the dog tags of his fallen comrades. I began the quest to take down those beasts, starting with the task of tracking down the mortar parts.
Going the right way? Yeah? We are? Okay, I see something. I see something. Sweet. Ooh. Dredging. Alright, we got this. Let's go, buddy. How you like me now, son? What do we get? Mortar frame. There we go. Mortar barrel.
During the search, I had a few close encounters with the mine suckers.
Oh, there's a serpent. I'm not moving. I promise. I am not moving. I won't move. Okay, bye. Hooey. Have a nice day.
I also discovered the wreckage of an old fighter plane. Peeking inside, I found my first dog tag and picked up a few trinkets while I was at it. The following day, I came across a strange mystery message.
Added. Alright, cool. Some weird thing. Let's see what this is all about. Feels like years since I've been warm. I do not expect him to write. I just need to know he thinks of me from time to time.
I then spent most of the day searching for more dog tags, but came up empty-handed. With time slipping away, I wrapped things up and made my way back to the rickety pontoon. I then returned to the airman and handed over the dog tag I'd found, along with the mortar parts. He explained that in order to bring down the mine suckers, we need to lure them toward the massive traps he'd built. To do that, I had to catch a few fish and create 3 special baits. Without wasting time, I set off to catch the first fish. Thankfully, I also had a couple of grey mullets caught in my trawl net, which came in handy.
I have to do everything for you.
With the bait ready, I headed to the nearest trap to test it out.
Let's see what happens. Hey, there we go. There's one. Woo-wee! You get wrecked, son. Oh my soul. You get wrecked, sonny.
Blowing up the mine sucker was incredibly satisfying. And what's even crazier is that I had to deliver its remains to the airmen. On day 60, I made my way back to the airmen with the fish needed to prepare the next 2 baits for the traps.
Catfish, we got a catfish. It's diseased or whatever, but it should do it. Thank you. There we go, 1 for you. Hey, buddy. Yeah, 3.
After collecting the baits, I headed over to the location of the second trap.
Yeah, come on. Load the bait, yeah. You load the bait? I did? Woo, let's get out of there. Yes. You're going down, Sonny. You're going down. Good night. Yeah. That's what happens to you. We got another one.
Once the mine sucker was destroyed, I collected its remains and set sail toward the third and final trap. There, I repeated the same process and took down the last mine sucker, collecting its remains as well.
You've been messing around with these peeps for too long. It's time to get out of here. Hey, buddy. Done, son. Done. You get wrecked there.
With everything I needed in hand, I returned to the airman and handed over the remains. In return, he gave me a shimmering necklace. Before wrapping up the day, I attempted to unlock an achievement by using the bait to lure multiple fish at once. Unfortunately, that didn't go as planned.
No, doesn't work like that.
As I explored deeper into the Twisted Strand, I came across what I believe was one of the rare fish the traveling merchant was looking for. Unfortunately, I had a minor accident earlier that left my mangrove fishing rod completely unusable, so I wasn't able to catch it. On the bright side, I finally cracked the code and unlocked the achievement for using bait to lure in 3 different species at once. Okie dokie, I was back at it on day 63 as I returned to the location of the rare fish.
Yo, Goliath. Tiger fish.
Just a bit further on, I spotted a wrecked fighter plane. Taking a closer look, revealed a few hidden items, one of which was the second dog tag. As I left the wreck, I came across a dredging spot, and to my surprise, it turned out to be cloth.
Please tell me yes it is. I need it. Tons of cloth, that is. Darn it, man. I've been looking for this for so long. Oops, so I completely forgot to press record there, but we do have a second dog tag. We got it from the island just here. And this thing gave me a fright of my life. Let's try and wake it up again, you see? Oh, dude. Get out of there, Kamz. That's just crazy. Yeah. Well, that's about it for today. I'm just checking out the 2 islands here. There's something we can dredge up here. What do we have? Ooh, orcas. Well, there's another flag. Cool bits. Let's grab this one. Oh, yeah. I didn't see that. Sorry. My bad. I was looking at something else. Gotcha.
So, it was back to the airman to deliver the dog tags I had managed to recover. As promised, he rewarded me with 2 research pods, 1 for each tag. With the airman's business wrapped up, I shifted my focus to the next task, tracking down another rock slab puzzle. Soon enough, I stumbled upon it. This puzzle calls for a deformed fish. Luckily, I had one on board.
I just need to put one of these. There we go. Hey, and there we go. Savant of the shrine, solve all fish shrine puzzles.
On my way back to the rickety pontoon, I took the opportunity to reel in a few aberrant fish to round off the day.
Hey, there we go. Lifted from the deep. Catch 250 fish. Alright, so again, I forgot to record. But we went to go see the purple man on this island. He wants one of the fish. Sadly, I forgot to record that part, but it's okay. We need to sleep here anyways.
Alrighty, before making the journey back to the purple hooded figure, I took some time to collect a few crabs I thought might be needed, and even managed to catch the tarpon he requested.
There we go, son. Hey, there we go. Nice.
With everything in hand, I set my course back to the hooded figure and handed over the tarpon and the horseshoe crab.
Horseshoe crab, I've got that too. Alright, what's the next one? Barrel eye. Where would I find that?
Fortunately, my trusty notebook had the answer.
Okay, so I think it's this one here, if I'm not mistaken. So it's found in the Stellar Basin.
As I made my way to the Stellar Basin, though, I encountered one of the craziest things I'd ever seen, and nearly wet myself in the process.
What the freak? Hey, yo! Hold up! What is that?
Bright and early the next morning, I set course to track down the new fish. While navigating the waters, my trawl net caught a stray fish, triggering the next achievement for catching 150 fish with the net. After some time searching, I finally spotted the fish I needed. Without hesitation, I raced to the spot and carefully reeled it in. With the fish safely aboard, I began the long journey back to the purple figure. Upon arrival, I handed over the fish and received a book titled Pushing the Limit. With that task completed, it was time to make my way back to the collector. When I reached Blackstone Isle, I met with the collector to deliver the necklace. In return, he granted me a new ability, Atrophy. He also mentioned that my next destination would be Devil's Spine. Before calling it a night, I made a quick stop at the trader in Little Marrow, clearing out my trinkets to free up some much needed space.
Got that. We got that. That as well. $49 for that. Almost 50, yo. $60.
The next few days were all about upgrading my boat for the next area. As soon as I finished resetting my crab pots at Greater Marrow, I set off in search of materials. First on my list was cloth. It seems like I was always running low on that. Once I had enough, I moved on to gather other resources in the area. Back at Greater Marrow, I had accumulated enough items and cash to upgrade my hull to tier 3.
Hey, hull refined. Upgrade to 3rd tier hull. There we go. Next achievements.
Well, as expected, I was back out again, searching several spots to collect as much lumber as I could. This search carried over into the next day, where I stocked up on even more supplies. Finally, with everything I needed, I added extra rod spaces to the hull and installed additional engine space as well. On day 72, I took the time to reorganize my fishing boat, installing a boatload of upgrades from the heat-resistant line,
There we go, Swift Reaper.
to the anti-tangle line, followed by a new engine.
Hey, no time to linger. Have a combined engine speed of 75.
And finally, the tempered mesh net.
Our raft is pretty decked out now. Alright, we all good? Yeah, great stuff.
Before setting course for Devil's Spine, I decided to explore a few islands close by. While scanning the waters, I came across an interesting dredging spot.
Looks like a flag, I think. Yeah? Ooh, buddy. A serpent flag.
As I continued my exploration, I spotted a moored boat not far off. Curious, I pulled up beside it and was greeted by a nervous sailor who claimed he was being stalked by a massive creature. He asked if I could deliver a package to the dock worker at Little Marrow. Naturally, I agreed.
Alright, I will do that for you. Here you go. Why don't you take this? Getting over it with mind and body. Okay, cool beans.
So, having the package on board, I zipped over to Little Marrow and delivered it to the dock worker. Well then, I figured it was finally time to make the trip to Devil's Spine. Thanks to my upgraded speed, the journey didn't take that long. Just before reaching town, an island caught my attention, so I decided to investigate.
Oh, the old mayor. Did you throw it back? What are you talking about? The book! I think you've mistaken me for someone else. I'm not seeing things. It's really you, isn't it? You okay, man?
It turned out to be the old mayor. He launched into a frantic rant about a mysterious book. He kept repeating, "Throw it back," clearly still haunted by something.
Please, the lighthouse keeper. She knows where it came from. Where it needs to go.
After that bizarre encounter, I poked around the island for a while, gathered a few supplies, and decided to spend the night with the old mayor. On day 75, I made my way to Devil's Spine and discovered the charred pontoon. I wasted no time selling off my catch of the day and picked up a couple of crab pots. Figuring crabs would come in handy for upcoming quests, I went ahead and set the pots near the dock. While laying them out, I spotted something glowing in the distance and couldn't resist checking it out. Turned out to be yet another message in a bottle. After that, I made my way to an ancient temple, where I encountered a mysterious robed man and claimed I was his replacement, chosen to act as the herald of the purge. It turned out that the nearby stone hearths were cold and lifeless, and my quest was to retrieve 3 fathomless flames to ignite the crucibles of the shrine. Alrighty, it was time to tackle the quest. Though, while I was going about my business, I had these little screebs chasing after me.
Woo-wee. Okay, hold up, buddy. I'm not in the mood for anything. I need to look for magma. But stop following me!
After dealing with that pest, I headed over to an interesting dredging spot.
What is this? Oh, please tell me it's worth something. Come on. I just risked my life for it. A stone tablet. Ooh. Okay, so I need to get rid of these guys. Oh, hull damaged. Come here, you darn pesky things. Whee! There's something coming after me.
Not long after, I reached my first shrine, and surprise, surprise, it turned out to be another rock slab puzzle. This one required 2 different types of crabs to solve. Back at the dock, I found both crabs already waiting inside one of my traps.
Oh, there we go. Spider crab, squat, lobster.
But, of course, not everything went smoothly. Thanks to a questionable turn while sailing, I ended up damaging my hull, and to make matters worse, I lost one of the crabs in the process. So, I was back at it again the next day.
There we go. Going for our first flame. Take it nice and slow. We got it. We got it. We got it. Hey, buddy. This one for you. And one for you. The rock splits with an almighty crack. Goblets and all these juicy stuff. Alright, so we got your first flame, mate. With the first flame secured, I made my way back to the ancient temple and carefully placed the flame inside the stone crucible. On a side note, I unlocked the next achievement for using the spyglass on different types of fish. As I continued my exploration, I found another interesting dredging spot and pulled up the second stone tablet. Further on, I came across a mysterious fishing spot, and after clearing away the rubble, I threw in my line to reel in the massive fish. Looks like a mysterious fish. It is. Hey! What is this? Hoo-wee! This is what we needed. Now that I knew what to do, I set off to find the fish needed for the next shrine. Not too far out, I sailed to my first fishing spot and reeled in the ghost shark. Then, close to the ancient temple, I managed to pull out the pale skate. With both fish in hand, I set course for the next shrine and placed the required items on the rock slab. This revealed the next fathomless flame along with some valuable loot. On my way back to the temple, I dredged up the ice flag, adding to my collection of flags. Finally, I reached my destination and placed the second flame in its rightful spot. As I made my way to the next shrine, I discovered that this puzzle required 2 malformed fish to complete it. Armed with that knowledge, I set off in search of aberrant creatures. While exploring the area, I stumbled upon the next message in a bottle, and I was able to locate another stone tablet. It is another stone tablet. What did I do, Kamz? Why did you do that? I have no idea. There we go. Sweet. We got 3 stone tablets. An ancient stone tablet bearing a strange glyph. Maybe the trader at Little Marrow knows something. Oh, I need to go to Little Marrow. Okay, we'll go there. I wrapped up the day by reeling in a new type of fish along with its aberrant variant. Oh, there we go. Twisted. We'll take that. On day 80, I was all set and ready to return to the third shrine. A stone shrine, there's one for you there, and we got another one there. Ooh, encrusted talisman. With the last flame on board, I sailed off to the ancient temple and delivered it to the final crucible. Hey, preparations are complete. The fanatic awaits. There we go. What is it? The flames are lit. I can feel it. The chill, the deep touches us now. After lighting all 3 flames, I followed the fanatic up the stairs. He started chanting and acting all crazy. And though I tried to stop him, it was too late. As he turned to ashes, he left behind nothing but an antique pocket watch. Inspect the pyre. There's the pocket watch. While it was a sad moment, I didn't let the incident distract me from my mission. Instead, I pressed on, collecting resources in the new area. Later that day, I made my way to the trader at Little Marrow to inspect the stone tablets. He mentioned something about a guiding light and helped fuse the tablets together. By then, I had a pretty good idea of where I needed to go next. Okie dokie, it was back to the Devil's Spine once again. This time, I headed straight for the ancient ruins. Upon arrival, I made my way up to the ancient lighthouse. At the top, I was stopped by a locked door. After placing the infused tablet, I gained access to the secrets within, revealing valuable items and a powerful light source, the Flame of the Sky. Back at the charred pontoon, I immediately installed the new light source and unlocked an achievement for reaching over 3,000 lumens of light strength. I also took the opportunity to upgrade the net spaces on my boat. The following day, I decided to check out one last island in the Devil's Spine area. And wouldn't you know it, I found another hooded figure. Crimson or red. There you go. Yeah. What do you need? Oh, I just caught these and I have some here. Yeah, I'll give you one of those. There you go. As with the other figures, he asked for a second, this time a sailfish. Fortunately, I remembered spotting a sailfish location on my way to the area, so I made my way back to catch it. After a bit of searching, I finally spotted the fish and reeled it in. Returning to the hooded figure, I handed over the sailfish and waited for his next request, a frilled shark. Off I sailed once again to Devil's Spine to catch the fish. Hey, there we go. Matey. Then made my way back to the hooded figure, who rewarded me with a nautical engineering book. Continuing with my quest, I sailed to the blue hooded figure to fulfill his last request. In return, he handed me the book called Haggling and Bartering. My next stop was Gale Cliffs, where I met with a traveling merchant and shared the details of the rare fish I had caught. About the fish you wanted, yeah. I found the Goliath tiger fish. Ooh-wee! Ooh-wee! I'll take that. I found that one too. Providence, complete all side quests one way or another. Yes. With these extra research parts, I set to work unlocking new items and in the process unlocked an achievement for researching all of the rods. Afterward, I turned my attention to gathering more resources and capped off the day by upgrading the cargo spaces on my boat. On day 84, I wrapped things up at Gale Cliffs and set course for my next destination, Pale Reach. As I neared the icy region, I paused to check out a local fishing spot, only to realize I couldn't catch anything without upgrading my gear. Eventually, I spotted a pontoon and docked at the small outpost manned by a traveling merchant. Down here to investigate the ice field too? Yeah, it seems to have appeared out of nowhere. My best guess is that it drifted. Yeah, okay. Either way, I thought I should set up a pontoon here. I took the opportunity to reorganize my equipment and install the necessary gear for exploring this area. I then went ahead to visit the icy workshop the merchant had mentioned. She believed it might be possible to rebuild the icebreaker. I just needed to salvage the missing components. Before leaving the pontoon, I bought a few crab pots and set them up near the pontoon. You guys say we have plenty? That's great. So, where do I need to go? With that done, I sailed out to explore the icy fields and tested out my new gear by catching a couple of ice fish. Not long after, I stumbled across a familiar face, the photographer. She was investigating reports of a narwhal lurking beneath the ice and asked me to help by luring it out with a few fish. Okay, I got some fish. I don't know if this will work, but I sure hope so. There we go. That's perfect. Now cut your engines. We need to wait in complete silence. Okay. Waiting in silence. Laying out the fish led to a spectacular event. We witnessed an incredible creature that broke through the ice, clearing the way forward. Feeding time. As I ventured deeper into the ice fields, I spotted a glowing dredge spot. A closer look revealed it to be part of an old icebreaker. I soon came across a frozen cabin. Inside were scattered tools, notes from a past expedition, and a makeshift map of the ice field. Pressing on, I discovered an eerie ice shard with someone trapped inside. It appeared to be a captain, lured in by a strange voice promising untold riches. I tried to help him, but it was of no use. I didn't have the right tools to break through the ice. Undeterred, I continued my search and found another dredging spot. Ooh, it's another piece. We're gonna put this, Kamz, eh? I later docked at a nearby outpost where I uncovered another journal entry detailing the events that had unfolded in the area. Eventually, I encountered another figure trapped within an icy shard. Okay, break the ice. I can't break the ice. I don't have the stuff to break the ice. Who are you? Break the ice, please. I can't. Setting off the following morning, I lured the narwhal with a few more fish to clear a path through the ice. Here's the narwhal, breaking another wall for me. Oh, thank you very much. You're very helpful, actually, breaking that ice for me. The route it opened led me to the third part of the icebreaker. Let's go ahead. How many pieces do we need? I think we need 4. So we got 3 out of 4. I'm not entirely sure. And I also discovered a new species of fish, the goblin shark. Not far from there, I came across another makeshift camp and what appeared to be the frozen navigator. Notes at the site hinted at madness and isolation, and the figure trapped in the ice pleaded for help, but once again, I lacked the tools to free him. So, with the 3 parts of the icebreaker secured, I decided it was time to head back to the bleak pontoon. I've got some stuff here, but I don't know if this is it. Oh no, it is it! Hey, that's everything. Let me just warm my hands and a little, then I'll get started. Okay, get started. Great stuff. You the boss. Hey, pursuit completed. Icebreaker.
Nice.
On day 88, the merchant mentioned I should keep an eye out for an ice shaper. With that in mind, I sailed back into the icy fields. This time, though, I had the icebreaker, and man, was it just shredding through the ice boulders like they were nothing.
Oh, yes. I love that. That's what we're talking about. Oh, yeah. That's brilliant.
Having the icebreaker also allowed me to carve through new channels, and in doing so, I was finally able to dredge up the ice axe. Unfortunately, the narwhal made another appearance. It started tailing me, clearly unhappy about something.
Hey, buddy. Sorry. I don't have any fish for you. No, I don't. Please. Leave me. Ooh, that was close. He's still chasing after me. Holy smokes. Okay. Ow. 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 Woo-wee. Okay, I'm going. I'm leaving. Are you happy? You have no friends now. Are you happy?
After it retreated, I returned to a location where I had seen a glowing dredge spot.
Oh, buddy. Guess what we found? That's the parts the traveling merchant wanted.
I wasted no time and headed back to the merchant. Handing over the part, she was able to get the ice shaper up and running. I went ahead to stock up 5 ice blocks on the spot, and just like that, I unlocked the fresh fish achievement. Bright and early on day 89, I took no chances and spent some time catching enough fish to keep the narwhal distracted.
Sweet, sweet little fishies.
Navigating through the icy channel, I stumbled upon another dredging spot and uncovered a second ice axe. Moving on, I reached the western bearing outpost, where the navigator stood. With the ice axe in hand, I shattered the barrier and freed the first lost soul.
I've got one of the ice picks for you. Or axe. Oh, it's a soul.
In the process, I also recovered one of the frozen hearts.
What is that? It's a crazy monster. Oh. This, oh my goodness me. To storage.
Another day, another round of fish to keep the narwhal at bay.
I don't know how long this takes, but you can have the fish I have. Hey, brilliant. This time we didn't need it that much. Very cool.
I then continued scouting the icy channels and soon spotted the third ice axe. Not too far from its location, I discovered an unusual artifact. It turned out to be just another rock slab.
Translucent spire. Oh, we need to come here. Do you have something you might need? Storage. Storage. I can't get into my storage. Oops.
Later that day, I sailed to the eastern terminus, freed the second sailor, and retrieved another frozen heart.
So long, brother. So long. Why is there a yellow beam out in the distance? I don't know. To storage.
Continuing my efforts, I reached a channel I had previously overlooked. This one also held a special dredging spot, which revealed yet another ice axe. Nearby, I came across a makeshift dock, and right next to it, a colossal beast. As I approached the dock, I spotted another figure encased in ice, who turned out to be the first officer. After hearing his accounts of the expedition, I shattered the ice and freed his soul.
I will freeze you. Not freeze you. Free you. Free you, buddy. There we go. Is that the glowy yellow thing I was seeing? I don't know.
Before moving on, I explored the area a little more and discovered an interesting fishing spot, reeling in a rare fish. I then made my way to the central camp, where I freed the soul of the captain.
You're all done, mate. Free at last. No, there's still something yellow there. Is it you? Oh? It's another narwhal. Oh, dear me. Ooh, what is that? What is that?
The structure peels open, splits to its core. Acoustic stone lies cradled by broken shapes. With all the souls freed, I return to the icy rock slab to complete the final pursuit. Alright, translucent, something. Need to place these here. Should be done. A pursuit resolved. Under the ice, finish the main quest in Pale Reach. Awesome. Radiant Trollnet, our next achievement. After being busy for the last couple of days, I decided to take it easy and tend to my crab pots, clearing them out and selling the catch to the merchants. While checking out a few nearby fishing spots, I managed to net another aberrant fish for my collection. Well, on day 93, I made my way down a path I hadn't fully explored yet. Unfortunately, the area turned out to be a dead end, and to be honest, I was kinda lost. The next day, I continued exploring and spotted a hooded figure in the distance. As I sailed toward him, I realized my troll net had trapped a colossal squid. Catch all known species of fish in the Pale Reach. From the black depths, catch the colossal squid. Yo, 2 achievements. Afterwards, I spoke to the hooded figure, who requested an aberrant fish. Luckily, I had one on board. As for the second fish, I'd have to catch it using crab pots. Returning to the bleak pontoon, I checked a few of my pots, and wouldn't you know it, one of them had exactly the fish I was looking for. Hey, there we go, the fallen stars. That's what I need. Hey, yo, buddy. Without wasting any time, I shot back to the hooded figure and delivered the fish. Of course, he asked for a third fish, but I was in luck. My troll net had already snagged exactly what he wanted. Completing his request earned me the Book of Astral Symbols. The thing is, in all the excitement, I hadn't kept track of the time, and well, some really strange things started happening. Oh man, was it a slow and painful journey back to the pontoon. Alrighty, quick one. I forgot to press record again. Basically, I just tended to my crab pots and set out a few more around the area. After that, I returned to the colossal squid's location in search of the aberrant version, and sure enough, I eventually snagged exactly what I needed. Hey, there we go. There we go. That is what I wanted. Nice. Nice. With Pale Reach almost wrapped up, I checked my progress and realized I only had 2 more aberrant fish left to catch. So, on day 97, I managed to track down the hinged wolffish. But while heading toward one of the narwhal feeding spots, I sailed a bit too close to an iceberg and wrecked my main engine. Oh! Why every time when I think it's about to dock, darn thing wrecks me. With my engine down, I figured I'd make the most of it and went after the mysterious item that dropped from the giant creature. What I found was incredible, an Orus anchor. There we go. Yes, Orus anchor. The following day, I began the slow journey back to the bleak pontoon. Not taking any chances, I stopped by the narwhal feeding spot to keep it distracted while I made my way to safety. Once there, I sold off the fish caught in my trawl net and repaired my boat. Then came the moment of truth. I tested the anchor and immediately opened a portal straight back to Blackstone Isle. With that done, it was back to business as usual. I emptied out my crab pots and sold the haul for a massive profit. There was just 1 more fish left to catch in the Pale Reach, so I made my way toward its last known location and used the atrophy ability to secure the grizzly shark. There we go! Cold corruption. Catch all aberration in the Pale Reach. I then turned my focus to upgrading the boat, gathering resources to meet the upgrade requirements. Back at the pontoon, I went ahead and upgraded the light space on my boat. However, I still needed a whole lot of materials to unlock the final hull upgrade. Determined to keep the progress going, I set out the next day, searching for more resources. I continued dredging up even more materials the following day, finally gathering enough to upgrade my hull to tier 4 and unlocking its achievement. On day 102, I decided to dedicate 1 more day to dredging and collecting resources with the goal of securing the last couple of upgrades. Let's go! Lumber is what we need. While I was at it, I realized I was still missing a few aberrant creatures from the Marrows. So I used my special ability to catch another elusive fish and tick it off the encyclopedia. I then returned to the Greater Marrow and used the materials to unlock an upgrade, adding 2 more rod spaces to the cargo bay. To give you guys a bit of a break from all the dredging I've been doing, I decided to spend the next few days tackling my next goal, catching more aberrations. I managed to snag the bloodskin shark using the atrophy ability, and got lucky with the lumpy mackerel, the void eye, and a few others as I put my fishing skills to the test.
Oh, void eye. No, I didn't get that. 2 void eyes. Hey, yo.
I then grabbed the hooked sailfish and another aberrant mackerel before banishing the next ghost ship, which in turn unlocked another achievement. With the aberration hunt still in full swing, I kept fishing for the elusive variants, reeling in the host eel.
Hey, there we go. We'll take that any day.
The cyclopean flounder, and finally the perished loose jaw.
Hey, there we go. We don't have that.
So, it was back to the grind once again, this time at Gale Cliffs, an area I knew had plenty of dredging spots. From scrap metal to cloth and lumber, everything was within arm's reach. I made an attempt to catch the next aberrant fish, but unfortunately, I was just a tad too late. The fish vanished before I could get to its location.
Darn it! We missed out, yo. We missed out.
Determined to continue the hunt the next day, I finally bagged the second sailfish aberration. From there, I just kept plugging away at my tasks.
Oh, a juicy dredging spot right here.
Later that day, I managed to upgrade both the engine spaces and the light space in the cargo bay, leaving just one more upgrade to go.
Oh, we just need one more to upgrade. Hoo-wee! 5, 4, and 3. So we only need 4 of those and 5 planks. We should get that shortly.
Kicking off the day on a high note, I reeled in the next aberrant flounder, completing my collection of every fish known to the Marrows.
And boom, son. A riddled flounder is all we need. And that is all the fish we need to get from the Marrows.
After that, I set out on my final resource run, gathering everything I needed to complete my upgrades.
We just need one more to upgrade. How crazy is that? Amazing. But we need a heck load of resources for that one. Alrighty, we're continuing. Oh, Devil Ray. Sweet. Continuing our dredging expedition for more resources.
With all the items in hand, I added more cargo space to my fishing boat, finishing off the upgrades.
Buddy! Upgrade for cargo spaces, additional slots.
Then I reorganized my engines, experimenting with different combinations to find the perfect setup. On day 110, I set my sights on the iron rig, my final destination. On the way, I came across a strange dredging spot. Curious, I stopped to investigate and pulled up several Iron Haven crates. Arriving at the iron rig, I was met by a large cargo elevator leading up to the main platform. Things weren't going smoothly, crates were missing, fuel shipments hadn't arrived, and the foreman spoke about a drill that hadn't even started. He asked if I could help locate the missing crates. Fortunately for him, I had picked up a few on the way and handed over 2 of them.
Nice! Missing shipment. Deliver the missing shipment achievement. That ought to be enough to get the generator going. Thank you. Okay. Oh, beauty. So, that should be in working order, but I just checked the storeroom and it looks like we never got any fuel deliveries.
That's when I met the head scientist, who was nervously pacing around. He mentioned the lab was also missing supplies, but once again, I came through with an extra crate I had on hand.
Oh, we've got enough materials for the science lab now. 2, yeah. Don't worry about it.
What?
A small box? Bills that?
Turns out the rig ran on a biofuel generator, which meant I had to power it using fish. I tossed in whatever I had on board, but of course it wasn't enough. Thankfully, I was a fisherman. With a boat, I headed out, gathered a fresh haul, and returned to feed the generator the rest of what it needed.
There we go, pursuit resolved.
With everything in place, the foreman fired up the system and finally activated the drill. Initiating drill deployment in 3, 2, 1. The drill descends. But what followed was far from expected. The ground beneath the sea cracked open violently, forming a massive fissure. Oh. Oh dear. Now what? What did we do? Jeez. We messed things up, man. The scientist immediately called off further drilling and asked me to investigate. He handed over a new specialized rod and a list of deep-sea specimens I now had to catch. Ah, we have more people to visit here. If you're going to be hanging around here, maybe we can do business. Come see me at the undermarket alone. Curious, I stopped by and saw he had a few interesting items for sale. I also visited the lab, where they mentioned needing more supply boxes. Luckily, I already had them on hand, so we got everything up and running without delay. This also unlocked new enhancements for my abilities. Afterwards, I made the journey back to the Marrows to track down the rare sea creatures. First on the list was the paddlefish, and it turned out to be a wild catch. The new minigame for fishing took some getting used to, but I still managed to land the fish along with its aberrant variant. Hey, there we go, buddy. That's what I was looking for. Next up was another target, which didn't give me much trouble now that I'd gotten the hang of the new system. But just as I was getting comfortable, I let down my guard. I was so focused that I completely lost track of time until out of nowhere, a gigantic monster fish rammed straight into me. Holy smokes! You guys, what was that? Considering I needed to store some fish on board for a while, I figured it was best to head over to Pale Reach and pick up a few ice blocks. I need some ice, because we'll be carrying fish and I don't want them to spoil. While I was there, I made sure to collect the anchor to make future trips to the Iron Rig a whole lot quicker. Once back at the Marrows, I decided to take on one of the achievements, which involved collecting a strange type of dark ooze in my vessel. What I didn't realize was that messing around with this dark ooze spiked my panic level. I completely overlooked that and ended up paying the price. I got blindsided and rammed by another colossal creature. Continuing my efforts, I set sail to track down the remaining fish on the scientist's list. It looks like it. Cool. Alright, there we go. Fish number... there we perfect. Unfortunately, while visiting the fishmonger to sell off some duplicates, I accidentally sold everything I had on board, including the fish I needed. So, I had to quickly head back out again to track down all 3 fish and get them in my boat. But there was another problem. 2 of the 3 I caught were aberrations. On the brighter side, while returning to port, I checked one of my crab pots, and wouldn't you know it, there it was, the sea cucumber. Early the next day, I was back at it, reeling in the required fish to take back to the Iron Rig. On the way, I took a moment to scoop up some extra crates, just in case I needed them. Do we have time to grab a few of these crates? Oh yeah, of course we do have time. Enough time. Once docked, I went straight to the scientist to hand over the samples. He mentioned that the fish's sudden appearance may have disturbed the fish population, causing them to scatter. While we were talking, the foreman suddenly interrupted, shouting for the drill to be reversed and pulled out. What's going on? What are you guys doing? Oh, the drill is back up. What happened now? Yeah. It's going further. Gale's Cliffs, where we need to go next. The scientist advised me to meet with the engineer at the factory and to bring back a canister of the black ooze, along with a new batch of fish samples to collect. From there, I upgraded both the foundry and the factory, unlocking a range of new components and gear, including the siphon trawler. Installing it rewarded me with the remedial apparatus achievement. For the next few days, I did what any fisherman would do, sailing around, searching for a good catch. But this time, it felt a little different. It was almost like I was working for some kind of environmental agency as I cruised through contaminated waters, siphoning up the dark ooze. Once I had a solid batch collected, I made my way back to the iron rig and handed over another canister to the scientist. He gave it a quick glance, examined it under the lights, but didn't really say much. He just told me to keep working through the list he'd given me. Before heading out to Gale Cliffs, I made a quick detour to scoop up a few more crates. I want to upgrade a few of my equipment. These will surely come in handy. So, whilst we have the time here, let's get as much as we can get. Returning to the factory at the iron rig, I went ahead with purchasing and installing the infused hoist onto my rig. Once everything was in order, I set off for Gale Cliffs. The thing is, somehow my panic level was still at an all-time high, and as you may have guessed, strange things started appearing, making the journey to the dusty pontoon a little more challenging. Woo! Woo! Woo-wee! Oh, the smokes, that was close. Jeez. We dodged those things like a pro. I started the day strong, hauling a decent catch from my crab pots and making some good moolah at the fish market. Woo-wee. Let's go. We're making some moolah. With that sorted, I began tracking down the fish needed for the sample list, starting with the Nautilus. I also tried my luck on its aberrant variant, but came up short. Then it was on to the lancefish. A lancefish, that's what we need as well. Followed by a wild-looking starfish type creature. Oh yeah, definitely this is what we need. Oh, nice. For the final sample, I checked the crab pots once more, and to my surprise, one of them had caught the trilobite I needed. With that bit of luck, I made a swift trip back to the iron rig and delivered the full batch of samples to the scientist. He took a moment to examine a few vials containing blood, and one of them showed signs of infestation. He seemed almost pleased with the result. But then, something disturbing happened. A massive presence, something incredibly powerful, was closing in on the iron rig. Hey, buddy! I say you have an infestation. Holy smokes. This ain't looking good for us. Okay, so that's the next spot. Brilliant. The scientist called out to me for assistance. He mentioned a former student who might be able to help with the situation and asked if I could track her down. And of course, he handed me a brand new list to complete. Before moving on with the next task, I decided to upgrade to the next factory tier. I had enough crates stored for it, so it was a no-brainer. Just as I was about to leave the area, I spotted a new type of fish, and of course, I couldn't resist catching it. We don't have this, do we? No, we don't. Hey, yo. Brilliant. That's what we need. Satisfied with the catch, I set course for my next destination, the Stellar Basin. In which direction, Kamz? Stellar Basin is that way. On the way, I took the opportunity to dredge up every crate I could find, racking up a total of 5 crates by the time I was done. The only downside, chasing after those crates pulled me off course, and before I knew it, I'd run out of time and ended up near the bleak pontoon. Good night, yo. Good night. On day 120, I set sail for the Stellar Basin. Upon reaching the area, I wasted no time getting to work targeting the required fish. Come on, buddy. There we go. That's one of them, I think. Yeah, that is definitely one of them. Thankfully, they seemed to be concentrated in the same vicinity, and within no time, I'd reel in 3 of the 4 fish I needed. Next, I made my way to the Starlight Pontoon, where I picked up some ice blocks to keep my catches fresh and tended to my crab pots, since the final sample required 1 to catch it. Nice. Trophy! Brilliant. Can't really sell them now, I don't have space. So, the next best thing to do is to go to sleep. The next day, I went to see the researcher and explained what was going down at the iron rig. She didn't care much for the corporation, but wanted to help those in need, so she handed over the schematics for her tech. Soon after, I made the trip back to the rig and delivered the samples. The scientist examined the fish and tried to make sense of the data. Not in the mood to stay and chat, I headed off to the foreman to set up the defenses using the schematics. Soon enough, they were operational and the creature started to back off. This had better work. The droning voice begins to sound from the top of the rig. Hey, did it work? Yes, it did. The researcher helped. That's amazing. We helped. We got everything for you. Things weren't all smooth sailing though. A stern-looking man in a suit arrived and had a tense exchange with the foreman about the rig's future. The executive demanded the drill to be activated, and as expected, it did more harm than good, expanding the fissure into the twisted strand. Oh no! No! Don't do it! Don't you do it! You darn pesky little man! Now you want me to go somewhere else, of course. That's for sure. With the situation escalating, the focus shifted to a final building that needed to be constructed. The executive requested my help in constructing the fleet services bay. This gave me access to a major upgrade, and without hesitation, I jumped at the opportunity to upgrade my hull to Tier 5, unlocking the next achievement in the process. I then visited the scientist to grab the next list of samples, upgraded the factory to Tier 4, and purchased a canister of exotic bait. To progress through the twisted strand, I needed a few materials to craft the infused coiling rod. While out gathering supplies, I ended up in a bit of a tussle with a monster crab in disguise. Did we get this one? Oh no, 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 no. Whee! Hull damage. Darn it. I tried to get away from it. You caught me again, buddy. But I brushed it off and got back to work. The next day, I returned to the iron rig and installed the rod. After that, I zipped over to the twisted strand and started tracking down the list of fish. One by one, I reeled them in, and before long, I had 2 of the required samples on board, plus one of the aberrations. For one of the other specimens, it was pretty clear what I needed to do. So, I grabbed a couple of crab pots, set them out near the pontoon, and waited for the traps to do their thing. On day 124, I started off by checking up on my crab pots. Unfortunately, they didn't have what I was looking for. So, I moved on to scout other locations to find the missing samples. Eventually, I spotted the 3rd fish I needed and managed to reel it in. However, while trying to test out the exotic bait, my brain took a quick coffee break and well, I sort of threw it overboard. Oh no. I discarded it. No! I was supposed to use the bait. Oh, Kamz, you're such a screep. Still, as the saying goes, don't cry over spilled milk. So, I pushed on with the next task, collecting 10 dark canisters for the next achievement. Hey, there we go! Dark Custodian collected a total of 10 dark canisters. Complete! On my way back to the pontoon, I decided to check on my traps, and to my surprise, the final sample was waiting inside. Oh, there it is. This is it. Yeah! Sweet! With that taken care of, it was time to head back to the iron rig. But Scrib Kamz here went and pulled another crazy move. I accidentally sold off all of my fish to the foreman. Never mind. I sold my fish. Again. Oh, I was trying to get this out and I was pressing F instead of Z. Alright, okay. So, yeah, I went back to the Twisted Strand to catch those samples all over again. While I waited for the crab pots to snag the final fish, I figured it'd be a good time to take a shot at an achievement, triggering the elusive monster Goob and trying to outrun it. I mean, I did lose it eventually, but let's just say those darn birds didn't actually help. I kicked off the day by selling all of my fish again, then on to checking up on my crab pots and setting up a few more since I needed more cash for the exotic bait. While I was out and about, I spotted an aberrant fishing spot, and even better, it had one of the new fish I'd been looking for. I jumped at the opportunity and eventually reeled it in.
Ooh, nice.
The next task I was adamant about was getting the Gleaming Goliath achievement, so I headed straight into the muck in the heart of the swamp and began circling it, hoping to lure out the monster.
Come on. Where's the sludge monster? Oh, sludgy.
As time went on, a day or two slipped by, and still no sign of it. I eventually moved my operation to another location where I'd previously encountered the creature and started circling the area again.
Mate. Whoop. Come on. Where's the sludgy?
Just when I thought it was a lost cause, I finally saw movement in the water, and sure enough, the creature revealed itself at last.
There it is. Hello, sludgy. Come on, sludgy. Ooh. I need to go past that. Hey, buddy. That's what I've been waiting for. You. All this time. Hey, there we go. The Gleaming Goliath. Evade that monster.
Now that I'd finally wrapped up the achievement, it was time to get back to fishing and start gathering the remaining samples. Thankfully, I knew these waters well and managed to track down every fish in no time.
Sweet. Now we can head back to the iron rig.
Afterward, I returned to the iron rig to deliver the final batch of specimens. The scientists placed them into a massive chamber and began running tests. Apparently, the fluid still wasn't pure and we'd need to collect more from deeper waters. Things escalated quickly when the executive ordered the drill to be pushed through yet another layer, completely ignoring the crew's warnings.
What's that noise? What's going on? Wee, buddy. Holy smokes. What is that? No. No. Easy, tiger. Oh, yeah, of course we're going to the next spot.
Fearing for their lives, the foreman and the crew begged me to help sabotage the rig. It was a risky move, but the only real option. When I examined the defense's control panel, I found a black box with several empty slots and a module labeled Flee. The only one who might know how to help was the researcher. Before moving on, I dropped in to grab the next set of samples. Though the scientist looked completely shaken, cowering behind his desk. Shaking off the eerie encounter, I began prepping for the next area by installing the infused fireproof rod and grabbing another canister of exotic bait.
Yay! Thank you very much.
To finish off the day, I researched all the engine upgrades and the net modules, unlocking 2 more achievements in the process. Before heading to the next stage, I decided to upgrade my raft a bit more, but that meant I needed a whole lot of crates. So I set out in search of all the crates that I could find.
Let's grab this. Come on. I think maybe 3 might do.
I then returned to the iron rig, where I upgraded the tech lab to tier 2.
Construct. There we go. Construct. There we go. Rig architect. Build all levels of the building. Achievements.
Next up, I earned the ability achievement by fully upgrading all 3 core abilities.
And this one. Boom, son. Enhance abilities. Upgrade all 3 basic abilities. That's the next achievement. That's great.
Afterward, I made the journey to Bleak Pontoon. There, I decided to take some time off to tend to my crab pots and sell the crabs at the fish market, raking a ton of profit in the process. With the end in sight, I set course for Devil's Spine to finish the Iron Rig quest. First up was collecting the remaining samples, starting with reeling in both the giant dragonfish and the Dunkleosteus. While scouring the area, I also discovered a new species nearby, so naturally I added it to the haul. Afterward, I made my way to the charred pontoon to check on my crab pots and dropped in another for extra coverage. The following day, I managed to secure the final 2 samples, one caught in my crab pots.
There we go. This is the other one. We need sea scorpion.
And the other reeled in from a nearby fishing spot. With everything in hand, I returned to the Iron Rig to deliver the samples to the scientist. But something felt off. As I handed over the fish, things took a dark turn.
Hey! What's going on here, buddy?
His nervous tone was gone. His skin had changed. Black liquid dripped from his mouth. Then, without a word, he vanished.
Hey. No, buddy. Where are you going? Where are you going?
I tried to chase after him, but it was of no use. He had disappeared without a trace. After taking a moment to process what had just happened, I turned my attention to the next task, luring out one of the rarest fish in the region.
Oh, there it is. This is the fish we need. Come on, baby. Yes, exotic exemplar. Catch any exotic aberration.
On day 135, I set course for the Stellar Basin to finish what we started. It was time to speak with the researcher and figure out how to sabotage the tower's defenses. During our chat, she revealed a way to reverse the signal. Instead of the word flee, we could change it to rise, which just might do the trick. After handing over the blueprints for the new module, I set off for the Iron Rig and jumped straight into action to rewire the defenses.
Deliver the materials. I have it. Jeez. Pursuit resolved. You remove the old module and insert the new one. As it clicks into place, the sound of the tower changes into a deep rumble. Ooh. What's going on here, buddy? Ooh. Oh, the creature is coming. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Broskies. Ooh. Holy smokes. Now that's a crazy beast. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Who's that? You guys just leaving?
The executive practically pooped himself and bailed, while everyone else was safe and accounted for. I also unlocked the achievement for completing the Iron Rig quest. Alrighty, it was time to check off the things I had left to do. Starting with the more simpler tasks, I headed back to the Marrows to check in with the painter and delivered all of the flags I had in storage. Then I shot off to the builder at Steel Point, who had one of the last books I needed.
There we go. The engineer's companion. Thank you.
From there, I made the journey back to Greater Marrow, where I checked on my crab pots and found the next aberration I was looking for. The next morning, I set out to track down the last fish I needed from the Marrows, including its aberrant variant.
That is it? What is it? Swordfish. I was right. Hey, buddy. Swordfish. There's another one right here. There's a swordfish. There's 2 of them. We chance it and get maybe one. Oh, come on. Nah. Let's just use our ability here. There we go. Boom, son. There we go. That's what we need. That's another one off the list.
With that catch secured, I finally completed the encyclopedia entries for the Marrows region. Still having time left in the day, I made my way to the Gale Cliffs. Upon reaching Dusty's pontoon, I checked my crab pots, and wouldn't you know it, the next aberration was already waiting for me. Later that day, I cruised out to a nearby fishing spot in the hopes of finding the remaining aberrations, only to come up short.
Now, come on. Give me something.
That's just great.
Though, on my way back to the pontoon, I decided to try my luck with the atrophy ability, and sure enough, I pulled up the clutching Nautilus aberration. For the next few days, I stayed focused on completing the Gale Cliffs region. I started with the decaying black mouth, then moved on to the bearded mackerel.
Ooh, there we go. It's a lucky day today.
And eventually reeled in the elusive stonefish aberration. I also managed to track down the abyssal gar, securing both the regular and aberrant variants.
Here's the ability. You, buddy. Give me some moolah, baby.
Next up were the silvering lancefish, the shattered wreckfish.
Yes. There we go. Woo, we just missed that one. See ya.
And the bony wreckfish.
Hey, the next one too.
I also landed the sprouting eel.
Let's go. And it's a trophy, buddy.
And to my surprise, the withered ray was caught in my trawl net. On my final day in the Gale Cliffs, I wrapped things up by catching the last two fish, the translucent sturgeon and the bizarre starfish aberration.
Boom, son. There we go. How you like me now?
With that, the entire region's encyclopedia was officially complete. From day 141 to 143, I pushed ahead to finish the Stellar Basin. I began by cleaning out my crab pots for some extra cash, and in the process, I pulled up the mimic slug. I also laid out a few more pots to increase my chances of catching the other crustaceans required. Afterward, I set out in search of the coral grouper aberration, but had no luck with the fishing rod. Not to worry though, the atrophy ability worked like a charm.
All I can do is just go boom, son. I get one of those.
I then got lucky as I reeled in the snailfish aberration.
Oh, mate, there we go.
And the ruptured vessel. On my way back to the pontoon, I checked the traps again, and sure enough, I ticked off another creature from the list. The next day kicked off with the stalking spiderfish, followed by the eagle shark aberration.
Hey, yo, buddy, let's go, let's go.
And a solid catch of the mahi-mahi.
Hey, there we ancient angler catch all known species of fish in the iron rig. Whee, that's the next achievement. Done, son.
I wrapped up the day by securing its aberrant variant as well. Keeping the momentum going, I checked my crab pots again and finally trapped the crown of Nader. That left just two fish, the bursting anglerfish.
Oh, brilliant. I am done.
And one last strange-looking aberration. With those caught, the entire Stellar Basin encyclopedia was complete. Still, I had one last thing to try before moving on, using the exotic bait to lure one of the rare fish. Unfortunately, my ability was still on cooldown, so I had to wait a while. Thankfully, patience paid off. Once everything lined up, I finally caught what I was after.
Yes, there we go. Brilliant. Now we're done with the Stellar Basin.
Making my way to the iron rig, I was surprised to find my trawl net had already bagged the next encyclopedia entry. After that, I picked up another canister of exotic bait, researched all the net modules, and unlocked the achievement tied to that. With the extra research parts, I managed to unlock a few upgrades from the tech lab. I then headed to the Twisted Strand and checked off another creature while I was there.
Oh, there we go. That is one of them.
Alrighty, time to track down those entries. First on the list, I reeled in the broken arapaima, followed by the grinning gar.
Hey, buddy.
And to wrap up the day, I landed the primordial shadow. The next challenge was to catch one of the required creatures using crab pots, and the first round didn't go so well. On the brighter side, I caught the next rare fish using exotic bait paired with the atrophy ability.
And what we need to do for that is boom, son. Brutes, crocs. Done.
Another day passed with still no sign of the elusive aberrant crab. I wasn't sure what was going wrong, so I picked up a few more crab pots and set them up in fresh spots. From there, it was back to waiting. Finally, on day 148, I pulled up the last entry of the Twisted Strand, officially completing the region's encyclopedia. With that done, I returned to the iron rig, grabbed another canister of exotic bait, and unlocked the final upgrades in the tech lab.
On day 149, I returned to Devil's Spine to tackle the final region. Knowing I still needed a few crustaceans from this area, I checked on my traps, cleaned them out, and set them up again. While I was at it, I managed to snag an aberration. Oh, there we go. Sable Reacher, I think Volcano Snail as well. After that, it was back to business as usual, hauling in some of the strangest looking aberrations I'd ever seen. A quick check on my traps later, and I added at least one more bizarre creature to the collection. The momentum kept going as I reeled in both the Dunkleosteus aberration and the untouchable wormfish. Give me that. That's what I need. Perfect. But the crustaceans I needed still weren't showing up. Undeterred, I kept the fishing run alive, landing the sea robin's aberration. I need an aberrant version, please. Hey, there we go. What? The plated barb jaw. There we go. Hey, primordial. Deviations catch all aberrations in the iron rig. Achievement. But hey, the wrapped shark. Boom. Son. And the elusive serpentine mackerel. I'm going to cry. Hey, no, there it is. The serpent! Serpentine mackerel. Oh, thank you! Despite all that, my crab pots were still coming up short. Getting desperate, I picked up even more pots and placed them near the pontoon, hoping for better results. Not wanting to waste any time, I kept hunting down fish on the list and soon pulled out the defaced skate. I then made a quick detour to retrieve the final ragged note. Ah, there we go. We got the last note, the ragged note right here. Then circled back to the pontoon just in time to discover another aberrant had been caught in one of my pots. Then, finally, on day 154, things started falling into place. I used my exotic bait to lure out and catch the Shaper's Prime. And to top it off, I found another rare creature waiting in one of my traps. Hey, yo, there we go, the grasping snail. Oh, mates. This is it, yo, this is it. With that, I had officially completed the Devil's Spine region. From there, I made the long journey to Gale Cliffs to track down the aberrant variant of a rare fish. Boom, son. That's what we need. One more? With Devil's Spine behind me, it was time to track down the final exotic fish, located somewhere out in Pale Reach. Once I reached the region, I sailed into one of the narrow channels, hoping it was close enough to the Sleeper Shark's location. I tossed out a canister of exotic bait until I realized I'd forgotten to install the ice rod. That meant I couldn't even check if the bait had worked. Not wanting to risk losing the opportunity, I made a quick dash to the nearby pontoon and swapped in the required rod. Then it was back to the channel. With the ice rod ready, I confirmed the bait had done its job and reeled in the Sleeper's Torment, the final exotic aberrant. For my next phase, I needed to craft a few canisters of aberrated bait. The recipe required a couple of key ingredients. Rot. We need rot as well. Dark splashes and rot. We need fish. Okay. I set course for the Marrows in search of an area dense with dark ooze. And sure enough, I found one. All I had to do was sail through the black bubbling pools to collect the dark splash. Of course, that was easier said than done. Oh crap, we got trouble now. Ooh, that was close. Alright, we need to go. Alright, bye. See ya. Alrighty, now that I had everything I needed, I returned to the iron rig to craft a few batches of aberrated bait. With the bait in hand, I tossed it overboard to see if I could lure in the fish I was looking for. Alright, cool. For that, my friends, let's go ahead and see what we get. Boom, son. Oh, Viper. Don't we have that? Eventually, I figured out that I had accidentally used the wrong bait. After fixing that mistake and using the proper mixed bait, I tried again. Well, let us use this then. See if this works out for us. There we go. We've got the viper fish and beaked moonfish. A quick look in the encyclopedia showed that I had just 5 more fish to go. I kept trying my luck with the aberrated bait, but it kept luring in the same fish I already caught. Seeing as I wasn't getting anywhere with the bait I had, I decided to track down nearby fishing locations for the fish I still needed, specifically the rat-tailed aberration. There we go, we'll take all of those. Thank you. And the collapsed viper fish, which is grabbing all of those. Alright, so that's another one done. Just for good measure, I decided to try the aberrated bait one last time. And get lucky. Yes, there we go. The skeletal moonfish. That left just one more fish and his aberrations to track down. The final fish was supposedly found near the Stellar Basin, so I set sail for the area. After arriving at the location, I began scouting the waters for the elusive fish. I spotted plenty of the other fish in the area, but unfortunately, the one I needed was nowhere to be seen. The following morning, my persistence paid off. I spotted a familiar shape in the water. Racing to the spot, I cast my line and reeled in the beautiful ocean fish. There we go. Hey, master angler! Catch all known species of fish. That's our next achievement. Later that day, I returned to the fishing spot with some bait and together with the atrophy ability, managed to pull out the aberration. On day 165, I made one final trip out to sea. I tossed in some bait and at first, it seems like it might be a bust. Whoa. That's it. That's it. There we go, buddy. Boom, son. There we go, the aberration attractor. Catching all aberrations, achievements. There we go. That is it. Completed all them fish. We caught every single fish in this game. So, just a couple more achievements and we're done. With just a few more achievements to go, I headed back to the Marrows to attempt the next one, using my atrophy ability just far enough from a fishing spot. Hey, there we go! Unsustainable fishing achievement. That's all we had to do. Afterward, I sailed over to visit the collector and handed over the final relic. Delivering it unlocked the next achievement. Yes, the moment, give up the pocket watch. Now, with the 5 relics in our possession, only one thing remains. With all 5 relics now collected, only one final voyage remained. The collector boarded my ship, and together we sailed west into the fog-shrouded waters. We are ready. Are you ready? Where is it? Oh, there it is. This is the place. This is where she was taken from us. Reaching the location, the collector threw the relics into the sea, one by one. As the final relic sank beneath the waves, a dark and monstrous entity erupted from the waters. We had succeeded, but at what cost? It's happening now. Wee. Buddy! What's going on? Yo, what is that? That is spooky! There's some nasty stuff, yo! No! Go away! Holy smokes! And what is that? What is going on? Alrighty, the next task was to seek out the alternate ending. For that, I had to visit the collector once more, but this time I decided to take the book away from him. I then visited the lighthouse keeper, who recognized the book immediately and pointed me in the direction I needed to go. In the dead of night, under the thickest blanket of fog, I made my way to the location, guided by the lighthouse. Holding the writhing cursed book, I hurled it into the swirling waters, unlocking every achievement, completing the game 100%. We've got the last 2 achievements from the depths. Obtain all other achievements. And meeting my untimely end. There we go. Holy smokes. You see that? Oh no! What?